April 7th, 2014, we have a story coming out of Russia with some opinions they have about the United States building up forces in Eastern Europe. And Dr. Alexander Yakovenko, he was a Russian ambassador to Great Britain and Northern Ireland, from 2005 to 2011. He had a lot to say about this, and some recent statements about a buildup of U.S. troops in Eastern Europe in the framework of the so-called military Operation Atlantic Resolve are a matter of concern. Plans to add around 160 Abrams tanks and Bradley fighting vehicles to 60 existing ones for an indefinite period of time run counter to the US and NATO Founding Act adopted in 1997. The act obliges NATO to refrain from deploying substantial combat forces on the territory of new members, including Eastern Europe countries. Eventual permanent deployment of U.S. armored vehicles in Eastern Europe on this scale raises serious doubts about the alliance compliance with its commitments. In our opinion, by doing so, the U.S. and NATO are ignoring the basic elements of European security and provoking military and political destabilization. Added to the intense NATO Air Force activity near Russia's borders, this creates a border picture of the U.S. and NATO persistently increasing its military presence in eastern member states. Since 2014, the intensity of NATO reconnaissance plane activity in the Baltic region in close proximity to Russian borders has increased significantly and amounts to 8 to 12 sorties per week. The picture is similar in the Black Sea area. The total number of sorties in March through December 2014 was 460 compared to just 20 over the same period in 2013. Overall, the number of sorties, tactical warplanes near Russia and Belarusian borders doubled 2014 compared with 2013 at 3,000. By way of comparison, over the same period, Russian reconnaissance aircraft carried out just over 200 sorties over the Baltic Sea area compared to 125 sorties in 2013. All hysteria in the Western press and some official statements, including those of the UK authorities about Russia's strategic bomber operations in the international airspace, which have always been carried out in strict compliance with international regulations, cannot be interpreted otherwise than a cover-up of military activities against Russia's interests. In the current circumstances, it does not contribute a restoration of mutual trust in which we are all interested. Europe deserves better than sliding into confrontation with Russia, for which there are no valid reasons but the inertia of a Cold War strategic mindset. Well, that's their opinion, but they failed to mention they took over Crimea, and the Russian-backed fighters have took over a large chunk of Ukraine. And with Russia being on the prowl, we have to defend our allies and stop Russian aggression if they try to push into some of these other countries. I mean, I don't see how they could expect any less. Anyhow, that's my opinion. Thought I'd throw mine in there too since he throwed his in there. But anyhow, thanks for watching and have a good evening.